Alright, so welcome back to White House Farm. What we got going on today is I got my handy dandy little blue driver. We're going to go ahead and check my wife's car out. She said she was driving it and the check engine light came on, and she also noticed that the oil pressure was going up all the way and then down, and then it would fluctuate. It would be going back and forth. It wasn't steady. So I was thinking possibly the oil pressure sensor. A lot of times when they start to go, it'll stay like pinned out, or it'll be on 0, and it's not good because you want to know where your oil's at. I mean, your engine's a vital part to your vehicle. So let's get in here and take a look and see what we find out. Okay, so the check engine light is on. Also the tire sensor thing there, but that's not a big deal. Alright, let's shut her off. Let's go ahead and put our blue driver in here. Alright. And put it in the on position. And we'll get our handy dandy phone out and we'll see what this says. And check engine light. Continue. One confirmed code. And it's the P0521. Engine oil pressure sensor. That's what I was kind of thinking it would have been. And yep. So alright, and the cool thing about this, you can go right on here, you can click on the Amazon. And it brings you right to the parts. Just make sure you read through these and make sure that it is for your vehicle. Because they can pull up other stuff on here that won't fit your vehicle. So just double check that. So, and if you are going to be doing this job, make sure you also order the oil pressure sensor socket. You can use a regular 1 1/16, but obviously this is meant for the oil pressure sensors. So, all right, let's get into it. So we got our engine oil pressure switch in, and that's the part number there. And we got our flex head ratchet, Dewalt, of course, 3/8 drive. And here is that socket. Now you can use a 1 1/16. This just fits it better, makes things a lot easier. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description for this stuff. But let's go ahead and open this. I'll show you what comes in with this. And this is the filter and sensor all in one. Yeah, and there's your new filter. And then our pressure switch itself. Alright, so let's head over here to the Tahoe. And first thing we want to do is go ahead and pop this cover off here. That comes off just like that. And we're gonna have to get back in there. Probably have to separate a fuel line or two there. We do have the fuel line kit for that to go ahead and disconnect them. So, all right, let's get into it. So you can see it, it's right there, right where the light is, behind that little plastic cover. Yeah, just such a horrible placement for it. I mean, other than having to rip the intakes off and air intakes and everything, there's really no simple way to get to it other than we'll try it this way. But we will have to remove this fuel line and get that out of the way so we can get a socket back there with some extensions. Alright, so on this fuel line here, this right here, you're just going to lift this up, just like that, pops up, slide right out. Yeah, just like that. And that's just a safety device so the fuel line doesn't split on you. This all-in-one fuel line kit. And once again, I'll leave the link in the description for it, but you're gonna need this here, okay? And there's two different sizes. We're gonna end up using this bigger side here to go ahead and disconnect that fuel line. All right, so let's get these two hoses out of the way. And that's all that is there, a little clip, gray clip there. You're gonna press down, and then that should pull right off. Yeah, just like that. Now, you should be able to take this and there we go. Just slide that out of the way. There we go. Now, remember, use the bigger side here, and this is going to go inside here just like this. Close it up and push it forward into there, and we should be able to, yep, pull that off. Might have a little bit of gas, but it is a fuel line, so. But now we can move that out of the way. Now you should be able to reach back there, and we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the electrical connector on top. It's a small space, so just take your time, get your hands in there and disconnect it. Alright, so we're able to pop it off, and trying to get you a better view here. This is kind of tough to see, but right there where the light is, you can see it's just a little gray plastic piece in the back there. There we go. And you just lift up on the bottom of it and then pulls out, and now we can see our oil pressure sensor right here. So now we need to assemble our sockets to get back there. Have to use a couple wobbles, you know, wobble socket and our flex head ratchet, and we'll get this back there. All right, so we're gonna give this a try. If this isn't long enough, or I need another bend in it to get around the stuff in there, I got a whole thing here that I can use, but pretty much we're gonna be going with the universal 1/2 inch up to a short, and then to our flex head ratchet here. So hopefully this should work. Like I said, if not, we'll just add some to it. But let's go ahead and get up there and see if we can get this in there and get a good grip and setting on it. We're just gonna go ahead and feed this unit without the ratchet behind there and see how we're looking as far as for reach. You can see it slipping on back over there. And okay, got it to pop down on there. So that is connected on there now. And got a little bit sticking out here. Maybe I'll add another length onto that. Add this on here. Let's see if we can get this sucker off. Yep, it's free spinning. All right, there we go. there's our old one. Oh, you see there's some schmutz there. But we're going to go ahead and pull that old screen as well. And you just want to make sure they match up. Nothing worse than having the wrong parts. And yeah. So, alright, let's grab a pick and we'll get that little screen out that's in there and replace it with this one. Alright, so it fell down underneath, but we got our handy dandy grabber to go ahead and show you. Check out the video on this. Alright, so there's our old one, and that's just from where I had to pick it out. Yeah, definitely a lot of some junk in there. That could have been from push when it fell down too, though. Alright, so here's our new one, and they're the same, so let's go ahead and put this in there. I'm just gonna place this down in there. Don't use a pick or anything to put it in. You don't want to rip your screen. Just reach behind and drop it down in there. If you can, stick your finger down and push down a little bit further, but it should be in there. Take the top off of that. We can go ahead and put our new switch in, oil pressure switch here. Let's go ahead and get that in and thread that in, and then we'll tighten it up. Alright, so once you got that in there, as tight as you can by hand, go ahead and put your socket back on, tighten it up, and then we'll go ahead and reconnect the wiring and go from there. So let's put our socket back on. Tighten her back up here. Alright, now the plug's back on. That's tightened in there. We got the new filter. Let's go ahead and hook back up our fuel line here. And this is just going to snap on there. You're going to push it on. There we go. So that's in there now. Now our safety here, and this simply goes in the front, just like this, and then this is going to snap down just like that. And now we hook our other line back up here, and this was underneath all this, and this is just going to snap into place here. Yep, just like that. So fuel lines hooked back up, our other lines are hooked back up. New oil pressure switch, filter tightened, electrical snap back together. We got everything all hooked back up. We can go ahead and throw our cover back on. Alright, we got our cover back on. Everything seems to be all set here. Alright, so now to reset the check engine light for this the oil pressure sensor code, if you don't have an OBD or anything like that, all you do is disconnect your negative and then wait at least 10-15 seconds, and then you can reconnect it and it should reset automatically. Now we do have the scanner tool, obviously, as you saw in the beginning of the video. So we'll go ahead and get in here, and also we'll take a look and see what our oil pressure is doing inside. So hopefully it should be back up and in a steady spot and not bouncing all around or sticking all the way down or all the way over. So, all right, so for the moment of truth, let's fire it up. Yep, and there it goes. Now our check engine light is still on, so we'll have to reset it, but we're not at zero, flat 0 or flat 80. Let's go ahead and back this out of here. All right, so let's go ahead and shut this off, and we'll go ahead and put our blue driver in. Continue. And there it is, engine oil pressure sensor switch, P0521. So now, since we know we replaced it and everything is good there, we can go ahead and hit clear. Yes. All right. So now we can shut this off and then turn this back on, and our light should be off. And look at our oil rise where it should be. All right. And that's how it should be. And like I said, if you don't have the scanner or anything, all you gotta do is disconnect your negative and it should reset for you. But let's go ahead and take this for a drive now that we have oil pressure in here and see how it does. All right, went for a nice long drive, and oil pressure, it actually went up a little from where it was at, but it's not fluctuating, and it's not at 0, and it's not at 80. So it's not flatlining either way. And nice and warmed up. So it is working good now. All right, we'll see you back at the house. All right, so there's the old parts, and it is quite a job if you're gonna do it where you gotta take off all the top wiring and like the air intake, all that stuff. This is a way around that. Makes it a little bit simpler. It is tough trying to get your hands back there, I'll say that, but you can do it, as you saw. Just take your time, and yeah, you can get it done and save yourself a lot of money here. So, all right, guys, once again, we hope you guys like, enjoy, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, bye, guys.
You can't say goodbye without saying goodbye to me.
All right, Olaf, we'll see you on the next one. All right, bye, Obo.
Bye, guys.